everyone. Today I'll be going over some items that I have bought that have saved me money in the long run. I saw this trend make its way across YouTube a long time ago, so I thought I would resurface it in 2020 and go over some of my own items. Let's jump into the list. The first item I'll be going over is my Kindle Paperwhite. When I was in high school, pretty much the only thing that I would spend my money on was books, which was hilariously ironic because my first job was working at a library. So I would literally take my paycheck from working at the library and go and use it to buy books, whenever I could have just got them free at the library. I will say that I am a big fan of rereading books and highlighting them and going back and referencing them. So for some of these books, it did make sense for me to have hard copies of them. But for most of these books, particularly fiction books, I would read them and put them on my bookshelf and never touch them again. And that's why the Kindle Paperwhite has completely changed the game for me. I can download books from the library and send them directly to my Kindle and then read them and return them. The Kindle Paperwhite in particular is made to resemble the pages of a book. So if you're outside reading it in the sunlight, it'll look pretty much identical to a book's pages. I also love that the Kindle Paperwhite has a backlight feature, so I can be laying down and reading in bed and just using the light of the Kindle, and usually that will lull me to sleep. I got this one refurbished on Amazon. It was, I think, under $100, and I've really enjoyed it so far. I get all of my books using the Libby app, and it makes it really simple. You just enter your library card and then you can check out books and place them on hold just as you would hard copies in a library. I've also asked around and gotten a couple different library cards from different sources. So if one book isn't available at a particular library, I can check the other cards and see if it's available there. And a pro tip for you, you can turn your Kindle on airplane mode whenever you have a bunch of books checked out. And that way, whenever these checkouts expire, your Kindle doesn't really know that. And so you can keep reading these books indefinitely until you go to check out the next book and release airplane mode. So really, if I bought a book a month, this Kindle has probably saved me $150 to $200 just within the first year of having it. The next item I'll be talking about is the Nest thermostat. And I have to preface this because I didn't actually buy it, but it came installed within my apartment. Having grown up on traditional thermostats, you never really realize how much money that these are just throwing away. The Nest thermostat essentially learns your temperature habits, and it tries to generate a schedule for you based off of your desired temperatures and what is going to save you money. The Nest knows when you leave, so it has the ability to turn itself down when you're gone. And Nest claims that they save the average user $131 to $145 every year. And I have to say, living in the South with higher AC costs, it really does make a difference, and the savings benefit is real. Another major perk of the Nest is that you can control it from your phone anywhere. One time we were actually in the middle of a hurricane and I was staying at a friend's house, and the way that I realized that my power was still on was that I checked the Nest app and saw that I was still connected, and so that it would be safe for me to go home because the power was on. And if you have a Google Home, there is another perk. Watch this. Hey Google, set my Nest thermostat to 73 degrees.
Okay, setting entryway to 73 degrees.
Pretty cool. I'm also able to make my own schedule with Nest so that whenever I leave for work, it will turn itself down and bring itself back up whenever I'm home. Another item that I love and that has saved me money in the long run is the Google Chromecast. And this is mainly because I don't need to pay for a cable service or a fancy smart TV for me to watch things like Netflix or movies on my TV. Really all you need is an HDMI port on your current TV and a device that will be able to cast your service. And I definitely don't have a smart TV, but I definitely feel like I do with the Chromecast. The next item I'll be going over that has saved me money in the long term is my Hamilton Beach single serve coffee maker. Listen, I'm all for every now and then going to a coffee shop and getting a cappuccino and taking in the ambiance, but I have a feeling if you're getting Starbucks every single day, It's more so for the convenience and the routine rather than the experience. And you can get that same convenience and routine by getting a single serving coffee maker like this one. And I'm not talking about an expensive Keurig with those single K-cups. This one is pretty simple and it does the job for me. With this one, you just fill your coffee into this little scoop, and it's much more inexpensive than a Keurig where you're constantly paying for refills of the single serve cup. This coffee maker is cheaper than a Keurig, and I don't really need all the bells and whistles to enjoy a fresh cup of joe. The next item I'll be going over is something that everybody should have, and that is a screen protector and a phone case. These two have saved me on countless occasions, and actually the day after I bought this phone, I dropped it on pavement and shattered the screen protector, and that would have been my screen if I didn't have the screen protector on. So I will never leave home without these. And in particular, I really like the silicone cases because I feel like they stick to surfaces better and there's less of a chance of them falling off of surfaces, but I've seen that not all silicones are the same. There have been some that I've gotten in return that are a little bit more slippery, so just keep that in mind. This one definitely has seen better days and I need to be getting a new one soon. The next two items I'll be talking about are a reusable water bottle and a water filter. The reason that this saves me money is that I'm not constantly buying those plastic water bottles that are terrible for the environment. And I'm also bringing the reusable water bottle with me whenever I go out so I don't have to pay for water while I'm on the road. I love this water filter in particular because you can just fill it up from the top and you don't have to take the lid off. My favorite of my reusable water bottles is my Contigo one. And this has a little button that you can press to drink out of it instead of a lid where you're screwing it on and off. And as lazy as it sounds, it's pretty convenient whenever you just want to sip. And on top of that, it is insulated, so my water stays cooled even in the hot summer heat. The next items that I have that have saved me money and sort of go together are this CarryOn Backpack and compression cubes to go along with it. This backpack is really great because it has a bunch of different compartments for my clothes, my laptop, and anything else that I need to carry with me for travel. It's 40 liters, so it's pretty much the same size as a standard carry-on, but you can usually take it as a personal item on an airline. This definitely saves you on luggage because you aren't paying for baggage fees and you aren't paying to check your bags either. Whenever I travel, I usually am taking this backpack along with my regular carry-on, and I can definitely fit everything I need for weeks of travel. And along with that, I really like these packing cubes because I can compartmentalize my clothes even further and it makes it more organized and I can fit more. I haven't personally used this backpack to fly budget airlines like Frontier or Spirit, but I think I remember seeing in the reviews that people have used it successfully. The next item I'll be going over are my Doc Marten Chelsea boots. I think for the most part, shoes are definitely worth the investment of paying a little bit more for quality. That being said, I think there's a stark difference between paying for an item for quality's sake versus paying for a luxury brand name. With these boots, I wore them pretty much every single day of my 2-week trip to Europe and I never had any complaints about walking in them. I have very flat feet, so I also got insoles for them that made walking a little bit more comfortable. And I pretty much wore these every single day of winter, and that's not really an exaggeration. They've seen pretty much every weather condition that they could have seen, and there's not really signs of wear and tear yet, so I'm really happy with them. Next on the list is a rechargeable razor. This one is from Panasonic and it can be used in both wet and dry conditions. I can't say that this razor gives me the closest shave you'll ever get, but I love that I can use it outside of the shower and that it's rechargeable. On top of that, it's definitely saving me money because I used to buy those disposable razors which would go bad in like 2 uses and I would have to refresh it with a new one. But with this one, I just keep recharging it and it's great. I think I paid $18 for this and I've seen nice razors go up to like $13, so it's definitely a win in my book. And not only is this good for my pocketbook, it's also good for the environment because I'm no longer throwing out those disposable razors or razor blades that are dull. For the next item, I have a portable clothes steamer. I got this one on Amazon. I'm pretty sure it was under 20 bucks and it's done me pretty well so far. I work in tech, so I rarely have to wear fancy clothes to the office, but when I do dress up, I want to look put together. I can't say I've used too many steamers in the past, but this one gets the job done. It's small and it's portable, so I've taken it on trips with me and it works. And with dry cleaning fees being nearly $10 to basically steam a dress, I've definitely got my money's worth out of this steamer. So I really can't imagine having a business professional job where you have to look good on a daily basis without having one of these. Not to mention there's no need to take out the ironing board, so this definitely saves on hassle and space in your closet. Next up, we have the Nutribullet. This used to be my grandma's, so technically I didn't buy it, but she thought it was broken, and so she went out and bought a new one, but we got it to work, so it's now mine. Smoothies can be a really healthy and inexpensive meal if you're making them at home. I pretty much just throw a bunch of veggies into one of these cups and then add things like protein powder and chia seeds and almond milk and blend it all together. It's a pretty inexpensive breakfast and it's also pretty good for you. And on top of this, I buy most of my ingredients in bulk as well, so that it's a lot cheaper. I haven't really worked out the exact costs on this one, but I would assume that it's cheaper than a normal breakfast, or at least cheaper than a nutritional whole breakfast. And it's definitely cheaper than buying smoothies at the grocery store or out to eat. On top of this, I bought some more of these cups in the larger size so that I can go a full week without having to wash them. Up next might be my favorite item on this list. It's the Jade yoga mat, and I have the extra tall version because I am extra tall. I keep this yoga mat rolled out in my apartment, just in the spot behind me at all times, so that whenever I am motivated to do a workout, I can do it right away. I've mentioned this in a previous video, but I love at-home workouts, particularly Yoga with Adriene on YouTube and MadFit on YouTube. Since I'm not paying for yoga classes at the gym, this mat has definitely saved me a ton of money. I've gone through my fair share of $10 yoga mats from TJ Maxx, and what usually ends up happening is that I'm slipping and sliding the entire class and I can't even concentrate on the workout. So after some extensive research, I decided on the Jade yoga mat in particular because I heard it has really good grip, and it's definitely lived up to that hype. With this mat, I am glued to the mat. I do not have to worry about anything except the actual practice, and I love that. The only thing to consider when buying this mat is that it is on the heavier side, so I really wouldn't recommend this if you're going to be traveling a lot with it. But like I said, I usually keep it here, so it's not a problem for me. Okay, so I may have lied saying that the Jade yoga mat was my favorite item on this list. It might be this one. Now, this one is more of an honorable mention because it hasn't directly saved me money, but it has saved me so much time. And that is my robot vacuum. This one I got off Amazon. It's by the brand Dean Key, and I think I got a lightning sale on it, so it was around like $140 maybe, and it is just the best. The technology for robot vacuums has definitely evolved in the past couple of years. They can make them pretty quality products that pick up a lot of dirt and scum at a reasonable noise level at a decent price. It's not too much more than your average vacuum cleaner. And like I said, this one's the Dean Key brand, and I know my parents have the Eufy brand from Amazon. I got it for them for Christmas, and taking a look at the two of them, they pretty much have all the exact same parts. So you can definitely find quality brands across the board on Amazon as long as you're looking at the reviews. This vacuum cleaner picks up all of my dirt and scum, all of my hair, and I really haven't had to vacuum since I got it, which is great. That automatically cuts down one chore from my life, which was taking up my time, and time is money. This one is pretty quiet. I let it run while I'm at home and it doesn't annoy me too much, but usually I have it set so whenever I go to work, it turns on, and when I get home, I have a clean apartment. If you're interested in purchasing any of these items, I'll try and find the Amazon link for them below. I would appreciate it if you did use those links in the description box because it does support the channel, but if you don't want to use them, that's okay too. Please let me know of any money-saving products that you have acquired over the years in the comments below. And as always, please like and subscribe if you found this content useful. And thank you all to my current subscribers. I have about 50 of you guys now, and I really appreciate the support. It means a lot to me. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.